Hey guys, okay, welcome to Mascara. So what I wanted to do is create a video for you that once you've gotten your makeup in, you can watch it from me and it will kind of help you follow along. There is a couple of things to remember about mascara. There is not one particular way that is better than others. I'm just going to make it very simple for you. So you have probably purchased at least your main colors. Here I have my highlight, my two highlights, contour, and blush. And then you'll see in my second layer in a minute, I'll show you what else I have. So what you're going to do is, most of you either have the Buffy brush or you might have the 30-second hack brush that looks like this. Either one works for this. So for me, I'm going to start using contour first. Before I say this, I'm going to do step 1 contour and step 2 highlight. Now, if you find that you have a lot of acne issues right in through here where you're going to be putting your contour, or if you may have melasma, certainly feel free to put your highlight on first. That is interchangeable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the small end. You might find you like the larger end. It does not matter. I'm going to take my contour first, and I'm just going to apply the contour first. I like to start with my cheekbones, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some of the contour here. And as you can see, if you're following along, you're going to feel like you look a little bit muddy, and this is why we're going to blend it all at the very end. And then I'm also going to place it right at the jawline. Now, if you already have a really chiseled jawline, then you don't have to put contour there. Okay, so I'm gonna go, sometimes I'll go and add a little bit more. Now, next thing is I'm gonna apply the highlight. So I'm gonna take the other end and I'm gonna use my main color. This you can tell is lighter, so we're gonna save this for later. So step 2 is apply the highlight. I like to start in the center of the face and just kind of work my way out. The biggest thing, it may seem like I'm putting a lot on here, but I'm actually really not. I'm blending it out. And where I'm applying this is everywhere we don't have the contour. So I'm just kind of going over and around where my contour is. Again, this step and that very first step that I did is interchangeable. If you would like to put this all over on your face first, please go right ahead. Okay, so this is my highlight. Now, as you can see, I have a few little areas of blemishes. I usually will just take my finger and just kind of dot a little bit more of that highlight to help cover it up. What I will tell you, if you are just now starting to use the makeup, is less is more. So we automatically tend to put too much on because that's what we've been accustomed to with our other foundation. All right, so I've put my second step on, which was my highlight. I'm also going to call this part of my second step. I'm using that second highlight, which is going to go just under the eyes. And this is pretty easy to put too much on. I can tell that I already just did, but I am going to use my sponge at the very end to blend all that out. But as you can see, I'm just kind of patting and stippling that in. If you have excess on your brush, you can put it at the other areas that I'm putting right here as well. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is my blush. You can use this brush, or if you have purchased the bronzer collection, then I'm going to use my B-square brush. Now again, if you don't have this at home, you're just going to use your Buffy or your fingers. So I'm dipping in my blush and I'm going to put it, see how when I smile, I kind of have that right there. I'm just going to put it right here and blend it up. I'll go ahead and put a little bit on my lips, just so I have lip color on for the day. And before I move on, using this same B-square brush, I'm going to kind of blend it, but I'm also going to go ahead and put on bronzer. So if you have purchased the bronzer bundle, then you're going to have this right here and this brush that came together. And so I am kind of squeezing it and just putting a little bit on that brush. And then I'm just gonna dust it across my face. If you didn't get this, it's okay. You can skip this step. But also what this is kind of doing is blending the other areas I haven't blended all the way yet. Okay, then I'm gonna take my illuminator. So this is technically step 4. Step 1 was your contour, step 2 was your highlight, step 3 was your blush, and step 4 is your illuminator. I do use my fingers for this. Putting it right under the brow bone. Okay, so before I set all of this with my powder, I'm gonna take my perfector sponge and I'm just gonna blend it. I'm using it dry. You can use it wet if you would like, just get it a little damp, but I'm just kind of using the side and just blending it. And this is where when I put too much under the eye, I'm just kind of dabbing that so that I don't have excess of the makeup anywhere. So last thing I'm gonna do is take, if you purchased the powder collection, you get the Vanilla Dust setting powder with the Power Powder brush. And so I'm taking just this end that's a little bit tapered, and I've dipped it in my powder, and I am just carefully kind of blotting that powder on. I don't want too much personally, so I'm just kind of taking it into my areas that shine. And that's it. That's the look, guys. That's how easy it is. I can promise you it gets easier the more you do it. In the worst case, if you're like, ooh, this line is a little much, you just either take your hands or your sponge and just blend it. But that is it. The last thing I want to leave you with is if you're using a spray tan, which I have one on today, then you're going to probably change your foundation color, your highlight color. So be sure and get with me and we can help to make sure you have the right one. A lot of the times in the summer, people will shade up by 2 to 3 shades, and in the winter, they'll go back down to that original color. Also, if when you're putting that makeup on, it feels cakey or it doesn't look right, there's probably one of 2 reasons. Number 1, you're probably putting on way too much. And number 2, we may have mismatched you. Our skin changes so much with skin or sun exposure that we may have not gotten a dark enough shade for you. Typically, if you're seeing a major skin texture, it can be that we pick too light of a color, or it also could be that you might need to just gently exfoliate with a washcloth. So I hope that helps. Please know that as your artist, I'm here for you to reach out. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you have my email address, and most likely you even have my phone number. So just reach out. Thanks, guys. Stay gorgeous.